Sargon here, and welcome back to another episode here of Bytown in City Skylines. Last time out, we built this custom power plant, and it is looking amazing. I love the tanks. I love all the transformers, and I think this looks pretty darn good. Now, there are a few things we're going to have to do, but the one I want to do here before we get started on the rest of the build today is we're going to come in, and over here you will notice I put in this parking lot without putting in any parking spaces, so this won't be used as a lot. So let me just quickly take care of that right now. So there we go. Nice parking lot that is good and ready for use. So really love to look at this. Oh, wait a minute. How did this happen? So few glitches here. Not that this entrance is actually accessible. As you can see, there's nothing connected there. But we do need to get that road connected, and as well run this path up to just beside the security gate. Let's just turn everything off. So, and as you'll see, that path is available, but it's behind the security gate. Now, slight problem here, and I'm going to have to spend a few minutes going around the map, which I'll do off screen, and I really got to learn to keep tree anarchy off, but I've got to remove some trees, so let me do that right here. So I've gone around and I have removed all the trees, at least I think I've got them all, that are poking through the roads as a result of changing tree anarchy mods. So I think that's good. Now, before we do move on to today's build, where we will be building our very first tram network, as well as adding some more residential, I do need to take care of one thing here. It's only on these roads here. You can see through the security asset, we've got all these vehicles parked. We've got some lovely parking right here to be used. So we are going to come in the traffic manager, and we are going to place parking restrictions. No, 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 and no. There we go. So there we go. Oh, I love that. Ah! Well, that should not have happened, but so this didn't happen with the Shell gas truck here. So we will move on. So we're not building the tram station and the tram network over here. So let's get over to where we're building. So my plan is to use some of this land right here, which this is a collector going through here, which we will eventually bridge over across the river. But I think this piece of land is won't be necessarily the best land for any residential development, but I think it'll work quite well for our purposes of putting in the tram building, as well as properly placing our police and fire station, which we previously just dropped along this road here. And as well, we do want to move it, and let me show you why here. We do want to move the police station because I have plopped a bus stop right in front of it, as well as one right in front of the fire station, basically. Now, obviously vehicles will still get out, but I think, I guess the stop is over here, but nonetheless, we do need to move it because we are going to be running a service road to come back here and basically allow us to put the buildings that we want. And we will put a small commercial development in here as well to help service you know, this condo neighborhood here, because they actually have, you know, they have to travel to get anywhere to buy anything. So, you know, small development here would certainly be a big help. So what we will do to start is I am just going to pick up and move temporarily. Just going to move that fire station just out of the way. And we will come in right now just with a regular road. Make sure we have all our guidelines on. And we're just going to run that right along there. And of course we have tree anarchy on. Let's fix that. There we go. So tree anarchy is off for now. So hopefully that works. And I remember to keep that off. So now what we will do is we're going to come back here and we will come into our transportation menu. And make sure we find our tram. So this here, we need to put our Tram Depot in first. I really like this asset. Now, it's a very cool building, a lot of character, which historically I think that would be the case. But I do want to show the fact that you might be worried about the noise, but look at that. The noise is very much limited to the confines of the building with a very small radius, but we're not going to be putting any residential here, so we will be fine. So that is good news. Now, the next thing we're going to do is we are going to come in and need to put a guide road in. Well, I guess a drive road here for a future parking lot. Run that right beside the Tram Depot here. And then we're going to come in and we will then grab both our police station grab our fire station, and these two will be right off this road with great proximity to the neighborhood, and of course moving away from where these buses were. So the next thing we need to do is, you will see I left a little space obviously here in the back. We're going to put in a parking lot. And we'll just move it to back that up a tad. So that's going to work quite well. Now, we do need to make sure we get our tram actually out of the Tram Depot. And we're going to start converting these collectors here to allow the tram to run along it. But I don't want the tram to come out here on this road, because this is where the hospital will be. And I want to make sure this road flows as best as possible, because there will be an entrance off of here. And as well with the police and fire station there. So I do want only a tram track. I'm going to run the tram track right along here, which is really nice. And before we go and actually start running the tram around, I do want to put in the small commercial development, and then we will worry about putting our tram tracks down throughout the city and adding some stops in. So I'm going to come in here with a small parking lot. And I think actually I got to remove these power lines, but I'm pretty sure these aren't actually providing any power to this neighborhood. Yeah, so we're fine. So we can delete. And actually that's jumped, so that is perfect. So we'll come back in. We're going to add our parking lot. In fact, I think we will nudge the parking lot right up. Come in with our service road. Split that up. And we will come in and add a number of assets. Now, the one I want to add over here is a Bed Bath & Beyond. So I think this is a great commercial building. Actually, we'll get things running here. We shouldn't be paused. You know, it's going to generate some traffic, but there will be nothing behind here. This will just be empty city land, at least at this point. And we can come in as well and then add some shops over here. So with those in, we will just come in with Bob, and we will remove the parking spaces here right in front. We will also connect a path that will provide a walking opportunity. Provide the ability to walk back and forth as well to things over here. So let me just quickly add the parking in, and we will move on with the trams. So perfect. We have our nice little commercial districts. We'll come back and do some more detailing later. But you know, blockbuster video. Rest in peace. I spent many youth there. GameStop's apparently still around, and obviously some interesting stuff in the stock market. You know, a little liquor store, pizza place, and then well, sadly an empty Blockbuster. So that might be actually that's obviously the case today. And then a nice Bed Bath & Beyond. So this will provide some commercial opportunities here for residents that come shop. And then we have, of course, our police and fire station that are there. Now that we have, you know, that little commercial area done, we do need to make sure that this Tram Depot can actually send transits and actually service the city. So we do need to make sure that we connect this lone tram track so that the tram can actually come around. So let's grab a tram road. And no parking, and we will have to turn collision on. There we go. So we now have the ability for the tram to come out and go back in for maintenance as needed. If we come and look at the city as it currently stands, you know, we do have a couple collectors running through here, as well as up and around in here to Spruce Square and Amity Park, and then can come back around. Now, I do want to make sure we service this residential area. Not a tram expert, but I do intend on running a tram through here, and I will have to come in and move some houses just so they face off the street. So for example, these residences here, I'm going to have to come in and readjust them so that you know, their front door right isn't in front of a bunch of wires. And then we will come back in and fill in and update this area here as well. So for the tram, we will use our, you know, we do have a 4-lane road with Tram Tracks, and that is an 8-lane road, which we don't need. So let's use the one with no parking, at least for the majority of this anyways. So let me go around and take care of at least the collector network. So we've now run the tram track through our main collector. Now we have come upon our roundabout here. I do have the ability to put tram tracks here, but I think what I'm going to do instead is I'm just going to have the tram flow right through. So we're going to come back in and just put in just regular tram track and connect there to there. We will come into Traffic Manager and we will put yields on so that they do stop and give way to traffic. We'll see how that works. And we will come back and have a look as needed. So with that part done, I did run the tram track all the way up to here. And that's because what I plan to do is run the tram right down here and connect back up. So that will be the main loop. We will look to add some tram tracks coming off as well for some little transit stations or tram stops. Because the one thing I do not like, now there is this, concrete area in the middle where pedestrians can, get on and off, and then they can cross. But I think my preference is, because this is going to be the main collector, that I would prefer actually if, they were getting on and off and then crossing a little more deliberate fashion, and only when they actually need to fully cross, as opposed to the half cross. So first, before I will run the tram track right up this road here, and then after that I will go in and quickly move and adjust the homes that need to be moved. So now that we have our tram roads in, although we still have yet to put in any stops, we are first going to start building out a little more of a residential zone here, because we do have some demand for residential, and I would like to fill in some of these areas. Now, I will admit I had originally planned to run dedicated trams along the side here, but as you can see, I have changed my mind. So to start off with, we're going to come in here and to Rico, and this is the asset we're going to start with. Now I'm going to put them right up against each other, but I am going to spin this around to kind of give it a nice little framing with the pop out on both sides, and just a small bit of courtyard. Go to overhead view here. We will use move it as well, just to do a few things. Want to make sure they're at the same height. And now we're going to come in and we will just try to nudge these. There we go. I think that's good. Now, the reason why I wanted to put those in first is because I do want to run a road right next to it. And it's basically going to come right across here at this point. Now we will also run this road down to, chop up the block length, but we're not going to connect into the collector. We're just going to put it right at the tip. So with that in, we're going to come back. Oops, don't need the vehicles. We are going to replicate, so we're going to grab these and we will copy them. But obviously not done yet. These residences do need some parking, so we're going to come in with our parking roads and place those in. Put those there. Come across on the other side. Once again, we're not going to connect these roads up, these parking lots up. And that is simply because we want to make sure that nobody's using it as a cut through. That's what the main roads are. Now, we've been doing a lot of stuff with our traffic and road network. So we will have to pay attention just to make sure that we are not, you know, causing any problems with our actual traffic percentage. But that is not for the moment. Now over here, we're going to come in and instead we are going to put in some modern townhomes, I guess, so actually row houses, I think what the asset is called. Ah, there we go. So these are some modern row houses, and they're going to come in and line up. So we have 4 different models. It's like a little bit of a variation there. And I think what we'll do is, once again, we'll use move it. We'll center those. Have a look just to make sure nothing's peeking over. That is good. And once again, we are going to copy. And we will place those over here. Now, the reason why, you know, kind of doing some of this is I do think, oh, it'd be better if I had the front doors where I want them. I do think this would have been, you know, the same developer kind of coming through and building this area out. So I think that's looking pretty good. Now we do have the sprites popping through. Can't do too much about that. But, you know, looking good. Now, before we get too far, we'll just double check that we actually have water. And we do, so that is good. So now, given that, you know, the reason why I stopped here is given that we have the tram track running through here, I would like to take the opportunity to put in a small commercial node of, well, small node of commercial, I guess. So we are going to come in and we're just going to put in some nice commercial. GNC, I think, look pretty good. I do want to try to keep it into the same type of building design here. Throw a generic one in. We can look for a, you know, a sign to put in. Pizza, pizza. Well, actually, Little Caesars, but we all love pizza, so we'll put that in. Yeah, thankfully they're not the same ones. That, you know, that would have been kind of ironic having 2 competing pizza joints right next to each other. I'm sure it happens. We can add a Subway in. You know, nice small little commercial node there. Now the other thing I do want to add over here, come in and I do want to put in a Shell gas station. I'll put it right on the corner. The next thing I want to put in is a small drive-through. I think it was Dunkin' Donuts. Yeah, I'm assuming that's a drive-through window. So what we will do is come in with a 1U, one-way road with no parking. Okay, so we do need to use Move It to fix all this up. Now that we have that there, we'll have to rethink that fire station because it's definitely not what I want there. You know, that was placed in an earlier episode. You know, I'm gonna admit, probably a bit of a panic to deal with what I thought was, you know, poor fire coverage. You know, so for the here and now, what we are gonna do, we will remove, because this, before I remove it, this is a, you know, a large fire station with 25 engines. It is definitely overblown. You know, it's a bit overblown for this area. So we will come in and look to put in a smaller, more reasonably sized fire station. So I'll put that one in here for now. So we're going to jump just a bit down here. We're going to start working our way backwards a bit. I do want to add in, there we go. We're going to add in this mid-rise here. And they're going to have a great view of the hospital. Really like this building here. Now obviously got the glare from the sun. Oh, and this actually does have, look at this. It does have some parking. So that's got built-in parking. That is pretty good. Now the next thing we're going to do is we will pull this back off of the road as far as we can. There we go. You know, I will admit, you know, downtown Ottawa here, a lot of stuff is built right up against the road. You know, it's just, you know, the development pattern from the origins of the city, which was called Bytown back in the day. So really not a lot of space, but we don't need to do that. So we will leave plenty of space between the sidewalk, the road, so people, when they step out of this condo building, they're not, you know, basically stepping onto the sidewalk. So the next thing we need to do is add in a road back here. So let's do that now. So the next thing we're going to come in and add are these low-rise buildings here. Three put in, and we will once again work to center these. Now I think I'm going to take a small mulligan here. I am going to come in, remove this road here for now. And I'm actually, even though this building has parking, I am going to run behind it. That one's too big. Come back. We're going to run this one behind. Move all these back. Make sure we add some water. So with those condos in, we're going to add a couple of other condos right in here. And, you know, I think these would be nice here as well. We'll just have three coming across. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to rotate. Oop. Make sure you're on only one building when you go rotate, move it. So now that we have those in, we will come in and we will place our parking lot roads. So we now have things in here. I think we're still going to play with the height of these, but we'll come back. We got some detailing to do here, including putting in our, you know, parking stalls. So we've done an excellent job of dealing with our residential demand, which should allow us soon to really go and actually do some of the stuff I've been wanting to do for a while, and let's take care and build some industry. But we are not done yet. So we actually do need to at least get some trams going. So right now we're going to set up a very basic tram network. See it coming out of our Tram Depot. And we are going to circle things here. So we're going to go counterclockwise at the moment. We're going to go up. And, you know, every few blocks, we are going to do a stop. This won't be a high-speed tram or light rail. Definitely want to make sure we, you know, don't block this. So actually, I'm going to come back. We will skip putting a stop along here for now, because there is something I do want to add in. So I'm going to come along. We're going to stop here. Stop in front of the businesses. And then as well, just before the shops here. Come back around. We will put a stop in here. We'll let that, we'll come back and put some more in later on. So now just let me do the reverse. So right now these trams will basically connect the two neighborhoods over here, as well providing some access over here as well. Now, I mentioned as I was up here that I did want to do something, and that is actually put in a tram, just a little tram offshoot, so that it will come in here and not block up along the main collector here. So we've added in just this little side track, which will then allow us to connect up into the industrial area here. And then we will actually look to add one down here as well. Now before we do move on, we're gonna have to come in and do some junction control, just to make sure that there are actually no lights. And we will go into our normal in-game tools. Okay, so just looking at the in-game junction control, just to make sure no lights were put in where we don't want them. So that's fine. This is no, oh, don't want any there. Don't want any there or there. Remove the lights. Oh my goodness. Just a few spots I have not paid too attention in the past. And I'm not sure whether these had changed after I put in Tram Tracks. But that's where we would want lights. Just on collector to collector or collector material at this point. And actually, given this is a bit of a minor collector, I guess because of the trams, I actually will put the lights there. Wow! Oh my goodness. Look at all these people. People have been crying out for transit. Look at that. Look at that. That's just amazing. Now that makes me think I should probably move the stop. So we will come in to move that. We'll put in front of the Dunkin' Donuts. And instead of the gas station, folks trying to come in and out. I did need to actually delete this line here. It just wasn't picking up passengers. So before we move on, let's jump in to our lines here. So line 1 is this purple line. We're gonna call it the loop, counterclockwise, and the loop, counterclockwise, and the loop, clockwise. So with that done, I am going to move on to do some detailing in this area. via a very quick time lapse. So we have our detailing now done, just some very simple things, some planters with some trees and flowers. Obviously, I went around and put in all my parking spots, make sure they were level. Oh, did miss a spot here. We will put in a little bit of concrete in this area. Oh, there we go. Leaving these green and open. These guys got a slightly bigger open backyard. Now, I thought about enclosing these in, but I've seen a lot of these type of condominiums, condo apartments, or I guess these would be condo townhouses. And then they would just back right up a lot of times right onto their parking spots here. So plenty of parking here for both visitors and obviously residents. Although everyone's just parking here at the police parking lot, including this fellow here. You're not allowed to park there anymore. So this is temporary. I'm gonna have a look at as to whether I want to leave the police station and fire station in this area. That works for now. We've got a little Dunkin' Donuts, a Shell gas station, a little note of commercial here. So definitely things that are happening here. These really nice apartments. I like this one here too. This is nice. Hey buddy, what's going on? Just wondering if you're barbecuing. You got any burgers? But I love this courtyard. This is a great courtyard. Now there is plenty of parking in here, but I ran all this parking for both visitors and as well as for all the residents living in there. So I think that's looking pretty good. Oh, we do need, missed this in the detailing, so let me just quickly add this in. And then we've got this area detailed over here. Just ran some nice generic pines from the new content that we just got dropped with the airport DLC update. Little field here, not currently being used. You know, I might rethink this area here, but I'm not trying to overload this space, and I might save it for some city services. We'll see. But we have our nice Tram Depot here. You know, fire station, police station. Now have them centered the right way because they were reversed. Not the most efficient to get out. And then we've got our, you know, nice little commercial note here, so which we started off with. I think this looks pretty swish. So we do have our very first tram lines running. They're doing quite well. Our demand for residential continues, just continues. Even though we had a bit of an industry demand peak, we will continue to look at developing the city as we go. Plenty of space here, plenty of opportunity, including all this space running along here. I see a nice area for residential expansion, plus some other city services. Dealing with some twins here. Yeah. Yeah. Fire Station Panic one episode, so have to deal with that. You know, but we've got our tram running up here. One thing I do want to point out, I did extend this out because the trams are starting to back up. You know, I guess trams go where they want. But that's because when they're waiting here, another one's coming up behind, it's not blocking the road. So I can hold at least 2 in here, 3 technically. I might look at putting a little loop over here on this side. We'll see. But I did build this hill bank here. But, you know, that is for another episode. So I think things are coming along here. Definitely some things to work on. Plenty of exciting things to come. So I'll leave you with a brief city tour. But thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. If you have any feedback or comments, very much appreciate them. Until next time, bye for now.